So I wanted to show you guys some old pictures, man, before I get into this video. I wanted to show you guys, well, these ones, start off with these ones first. So this is me. This is me at 13 years old, man. I was winning awards. I was big into sports back then, so I was running a lot, done a lot of running, school and stuff, and then I got really big into rowing, and I always played basketball as well as a young lad. I was not into football, soccer in England. I never really into that, but yeah, got into like different sports. Like basketball was a big one for me, and then this one was rowing. I joined a rowing club, and I was just winning awards all the time, non-stop. I was just back to back winning awards. I was just really into sports. And then this one here. There's me. I believe this one here this might be when we just in LA. I think this one's in LA. And yeah, as you can see, I was like quite an innocent kid. I believe I was about 12 maybe in this one. So 12, 13, these two pictures. And like I said, I was really big into my sports, man. You can sort of tell. I played loads and loads of basketball when I was younger. And yeah, I was really big into sports. And then what I want to show you is the decline, basically. So as time went on, you know, I've talked about this in other videos, you know, the degenerate stage of my life as I got older. It's nice to have these though, you know, just trying to get them, because I printed these years ago, but this is me here as time went on. I don't know if you can see, I've got a bottle of alcohol in my hand. I've got tattoos. You can see the tattoos on my face before I got them lasered off. But yeah, tattoos. I've got half a cigarette in the back of my ear, just make a spliff, make a joint. And then here, just drinking and smoking. As you can see, this is me here. Obviously the tattoos have all come out here. This is me in my degenerate stage in life. Must have been about 19 here, 18, 19. So sports, all of that kind of stuff just went out the window, and I was just a full-on degenerate, man. And then in this picture here, man, this picture here is me. You can see this is me getting tatted up, drinking. And that was like the degenerate stage of my life. But what I want to say is, just by showing you them pictures, my past was very, so as you can see, from a young age I was really innocent. I was really into my sports. I was on the right path, you know, I was on the right track. But somewhere along the lines, you know, we've talked about this, music, rap music and stuff, just eventually got to me. Then being from the neighborhood that I was from, which is like similar to the projects in America. So it's like, I guess you could call it like a hood environment. That took over me, and I became this degenerate guy here. Just, you know, and it's crazy. Like when I look at them pictures, it feels sad for me, man. It feels sad to look at them, like, because I feel like I had so much potential. You know, when I was younger, like winning awards, I was a good kid. Yeah, I didn't have no ink all over my skin. I was just like, I was just a good kid. You know, and I could have gone really far for sports. You know, I remember my auntie even saying to me, you know, I remember I was very young, and I think she said to my mum, she said, let him stay with us, you know, and let him develop. You know, if he wants to do basketball, this kind of thing. I could have stayed over there in California and done that. And for whatever reason, I think just because I was very close to, you know, my grandmother and my mum, I didn't do that, you know. And then things always don't work out, you know, like that. Obviously, looking back now, I should have done that, but you know, you can't live with regret. But what I want to say is, I have completely left that degenerate stage of my life. This guy that I'm showing you here is completely dead. It's like that part of my life is completely buried in a cemetery somewhere and will never return. So what I want to say to you guys, for any of you guys who are going through some shit, maybe you are stuck in, you know, a a bad environment. Maybe you are around people that you can blatantly see are not going to help you in your journey of life, and maybe you do feel stuck. I remember being 19 years old. Never really told anyone this, and I remember constantly, you know, getting arrested around that time, just for being a bad guy, like being a bad kid, being a bad boy. Like I weren't out there doing anything crazy, you know. I weren't holding people up at knife point, all this kind. I was just naughty. I guess you could just call it. I was just naughty. I didn't have no respect for authority. You know, like I told you in other videos, I was just out drinking, partying all the time, non-stop. And I remember like just looking at, I got to 19 years old, and I remember looking at the people around me, and I remember I didn't go out for a little while. I just like, something's got to change. The police were just constantly at my door. You know, I never woke up feeling good. I always, from partying and drinking and smoking all the time, I constantly felt horrible, throwing up all the time. I didn't feel strong. I felt weak all the time. It's like I had no purpose really. And I remember being 19 years old, and I lied on my bed. I can like picture it. I can picture this. I was lying on my bed and I was looking up, and back then, like, you had a BlackBerry, and I remember my BlackBerry was going off, and it was just like random girls were just messaging me, and I remember just looking at the ceiling, and I just had no music on, I had nothing on, no TV, and I just thought, like, is this it, man? Like, is this it? Like, is this my life now? And like even just talking to you guys, I can feel the emotion I felt, and I felt like almost sick, to be honest. Like, I almost felt like, is it ever going to change? Is my life ever going to change? So, you know, I put a video up about how I escaped degeneracy, how you guys can do that. If you haven't watched that, I'll put a link in the description, or I'll put it after this video, and you can go and watch that. How to go from a degenerate to a strong man with purpose. But I can remember fully being 19 years old and being that young boy, and just like, on the outside it looked like, you know, life was a big party for me, but on the inside I was dying, man. Like I was dying, because you got to remember, I come from a very calm Muslim household with his morals. It's like I was almost going into my bedroom, and I was completely like, it was like another world in that bedroom for me. You know, the degenerate music, I was hiding weed in cupboards, I was hiding drink. Just like, it was just a whole different life. So it's like my mind, my soul was constantly battling against my faith and what my family believed, and I just, like I said, I remember just sitting there and just really just being like, is this it? So what I want to say to you guys is, I'm 35 this year, and like, recently I've just passed as a software developer. Whether I'm going to take that route or not is a whole different, like, is completely different subject, but I've done it. It's something I wanted to do for a while, and I passed. It was so hard. Like, software development, learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Node.js. Like, you probably don't understand programming languages, but it was so hard, man. But I done it, and I got the certificate, you know, and I train hard, and I'm very determined to succeed in my life. My daughter has had a great, she's only 7 years old, and since the age of 2 she's been modeling for different brands. She's just been smashing it. She's got her YouTube channel we've been doing for 2 years. It's starting to pick up. She's getting a few thousand views on each video. It's going great. We've got a nice calm house. I'm really into my deen, you know, and showing my children the Islamic way of living, because it's so pure, it's so peaceful. You know, I train all the time. I'm an avid meditator. I've read hundreds and hundreds of books, you know. Actually, I've experienced having my own business as well. I've done that for a few years. And now I'm currently working on what my goal is in life, and it's to help people and to just share my experiences, and maybe I can change 1 or 2 lives, you know. So I've got a whole plan of where my life is going to go. It's already going in the right direction, alhamdulillah. And that's with God's help. You know, that's with having strong women in my life, my mum, my nan, my wife, you know, and just being there to help me and support me. My oldest son, he's 17, he's 18 this year. He just passed his theory test for driving. He's learning to drive. He's coming to the end of his college course now, which he's been doing for 2 or 3 years maybe in construction. So he's doing really well, better than I was at that age. So alhamdulillah, things are just working out. So what I want to say is, don't let your past determine your future, because that 19-year-old boy lying on that bed thinking, is this life? I could have gave up. I could have said, you know what, this is it, man. This is it for me. I'm never gonna amount to anything. I'm just always gonna get arrested. I'm just gonna be a person that just drinks and parties and wastes my life away. That could have happened. You can give up, but I never gave up. You know, alhamdulillah, maybe it was, you know, something to do with all the prayers in my house, and, you know, people just having strong, like my grandma never giving up on me. Just having a foundation. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I can't say what it was, but I just never gave up. I was never that, and I've never have gave up since then. It's quite emotional saying these things, but I never gave up. You know, and I've accomplished so much. I would say I'm a respectable man with morals, and I look after my family. I provide for them as much as I can. You know, the businesses that I'm trying to grow now, you know, by ways of content, is like I'm on that path for them. It's for them. Like, it's for my children. Like, I'm doing these things, like, you know, trying to build a following. You know, I've got ideas of what's going to happen, different projects I'm going to work on. You know, like I said, I've just passed as a software developer. Sorry about that, a car come past, guys. I've just passed as a software developer. There's like just things in place, and I'm at such a content place in my life. Yeah, I could be earning loads more money than what I should be, but I'm cool. I'm fine. My kids are healthy. We eat good food. You know, we have a good life. I can't complain. We drive a nice car. You know, our house is always nice and clean, and we've got things. My children don't go without. You know, so alhamdulillah, man. Like, things have just worked out. So that's what I want to say. Like, I'd say use your past, man. Use the past, all the past trauma and the bad stuff. Use that to fuel your future. Don't look back at it and say, well, it's always been bad and that's it. This is it. I'm doomed. I'm always going to be like this. No, don't do that, man. Use that. Look back on that stuff and be like, you know what? People doubted me, man. Like, I've been a wreck. Well, it doesn't matter what you're going through, what your advice. You could be, I don't know, you could be going through a degenerate stage in life. You could feel stuck in a, you know, in a bad area, bad neighborhood. You could be around people that are not good. You could, you know, you could be going through drug abuse, alcohol, all that kind of stuff. But don't let that be, you know, who you end up being in the future. Use that. Like, all right, maybe, for example, you're going through alcohol issues. Like, all right, listen, this is what I'm going to do. Boom. For this many years, I've been abusing alcohol, abusing my mind, abusing my body. I'm going to slowly make progress to change. It's not going to happen overnight. It took me years. Like I said to you, it took me till, like, I was good 25, 26. That's when it started changing slowly for me. You know, and I got into personal development, all this kind of stuff. But, like, I'm just giving you guys an example. Like, if you're dealing with alcohol abuse, for example, all right, I'm going to start slowly changing. I'm going to start going to saunas. I'm going to start maybe not cutting back on the drink. Instead of drinking a whole bottle of whiskey every day, I'm going to have like 2 or 3 beers. Eventually, I'm going to have 2 non-alcoholic beers. Eventually, that's going to change, and I'm just going to drink, you know, fizzy waters. And then I'm going to drink water every day. And I'm going to start going to the gym, and I'm going to start doing runs, and I'm going to, you know, I'm going to go and get help, and I'm going to go be around people that are trying to get help. So I've got motivation for that, you know. And then what I'm going to do from there is I'm going to help people. I'm going to become, I don't know, you could become anything from that. I'm going to become a coach, become a fitness person, you know, and talk about my story. Like, the stories, or, you know, when you make that change and that transition, the story's always awesome, you know. I always say that, like, if you come from nothing, or you come from a bad past, the story, and then you become a success. The story is amazing. So think about that amazing story that you can tell people, you know, and just use that. Like I said, just use your past as fuel, you know. Like I said, I've done it myself. That degenerate stage, that young boy who was winning in life at one point and winning medals and just doing a good job and playing loads of sports. It's almost like I've reinvented that kid, and this was him. It was like this young boy was who I was meant to be now, but I had this like blunder. It was like this is the road here, and it was like that. But then the degenerate stage came, and it was like a bump. But now it's just sort of like going like this now. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm sort of like getting to my purpose. And bro, it's mad. Like I still am big into sports, play a lot of basketball with the kids or whatever, and I've got into jiu-jitsu, like I said to you guys. I've got into martial arts. I do a lot of cardio, a lot of strength training. So I'm doing what I was meant to be doing anyway now. You know, and life is, alhamdulillah, life is good. Life is peaceful, man. So, yeah, moral of the story. Let your past fuel your future. Use that as fuel to become a great person and a success in life. I wish you guys all the best. God bless.